everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name's Caitlin from Florals.com, and today I have another Stretch Your Stash video for our video series. Today I'm focusing on using punches, but not in the typical way you'd use them. I'm using them to make some shaker windows for my layout today, and I'll be using a few different punches which I'll point out later. And now I'm just going to pick out the papers I'm going to use. My background paper is by DCWV, and I'm also using the Journeys paper pad from Kathy Davis. So what I'm going to do here is actually figure out which shapes I want to use. So first I'm using this 2-inch punch by, I believe it's Marvy. Then I'll also be using a 1-inch punch from EK Success. And then I have a McGill punch, which I believe is 1 1/4-inch circle. So they're all circles, and I'm just tracing them. You can't really see my trace lines, but I'm just tracing all of the sizes so I know where I'm going to punch them out. So that's on the back side of the pattern paper. And those will be our shaker windows. So I'm just going to punch all of those out. I really like tracing with a pencil line because then you know what it'll look like before you actually punch all of the holes in it. And this layout is for 2 pictures of my little pup from this past summer. So really cute. So now that we have the shaker paper part of the windows built, we need to do the foam part so they actually have room for the shaker pieces underneath. So I'm just using some fun foam here. I'm trimming it down. And you just want to flip it over and then trace the circles you already punched onto the foam. And then you're all set to punch those out. But be wary, some of my punches it was a lot more difficult to cut out the circles with the punches. So make sure your punches are good or thick enough to punch out the foam you have, and B, that they can actually punch through the foam. So you might want to do a tester before you actually pick out your punches. But you can use any sort of punches. You could use hearts or squares or stars or anything you'd like. So once I had those all lined up, I added the acetate to the paper side of my shaker window so I can assemble those later. So now I'm going to work on the main portion of my layout. I have 2 photos. They're kind of similar, a little bit different, but I know I want them overlapped like that. And I decided to use a pink paisley citrus bliss frame here, which you'll see in one of my haul videos coming up on Monday. So be sure to stick around and subscribe to get that video. Lots of fun goodies to look at that I've gotten recently, and I hope you enjoy that when that comes out. So I pulled out this yellow-ish frame, and now I'm going to trim down all my photos, write down the date, of course, because I always forget the date before I start gluing things down. And then I remembered I had this pack of Pebbles die cuts, and I knew there were title pieces in this die cut pack, so that's what I was looking for, and I found 2 that I really liked. One said Splash and the other one said Chill Out. And since these photos were taken in July, I decided to use the Chill Out one. And again, these die cut pieces are from Pebbles. I'm not sure which summer collection they're from, but they're from, I believe I picked them up at Tuesday morning. So I'm going to cut some white cardstock for matting my photos, just some plain white cardstock. And then I'll also be using some colored cardstock to mat them as well, so I can get another pop of blue. And another tip about the shaker windows, if you would like, you can back the windows so they're just plain white. I decided to leave my pattern paper shown through on the back side, but it doesn't really matter. It depends what you're putting in your shaker windows, because if it's a lot, you don't really see the background, it doesn't matter, but I like the polka dots, so I kept mine. So I'm going to trim these down. I believe this blue cardstock is from Joann's, in case you want the specific color. I'm not sure, I'm positive it's from the blue pack, but I don't know if they've changed them since I bought it last or not. So my title's going to go in the bottom right corner, and I know I'm going to stick this little scrap doily that I have underneath it so it has a better base to sit upon. And now I'm realizing that I will need some foam under my photos, which I'll take care of later. But for now I'm going to struggle with this dark colored washi tape. Since the title is in a navy blue, I decided I should bring in a darker color here as well. This washi tape got cut badly because the edges rip all the time. So I think when they made the rolls it didn't cut properly, and now there's these torn edges, but I'm still making it work, and I believe I got it from Michael's, if I remember correctly, but that's okay. So now I'm going to get out my sequin mixes and my sequin storage to figure out what I want to put in my little windows here. I know I want to stick with a blue or green color scheme. I'm just not sure how I want that to, exactly which ones I want to use yet. Now, one tip that I can give you guys is to be better than I am with my placement. I didn't put enough pencil marks apparently because you'll see in the end that they're very not lined up. But that's okay because I'll make it work. I just end up covering it up a little bit more than I intended, but that's okay. So when you do try to put these onto your layout, either use one piece of foam for each section. So like if this was a 12-inch section, which it is, you would just use one piece of foam. I didn't have foam big enough, so I had to use 2 pieces. But yeah, it did not line up the way I wanted it to. So I didn't trace enough on the second one to, I definitely didn't put it on properly either. I used both ATG tape and regular Scotch Quick Dry liquid adhesive, so I know the foam sticks because I have trouble with foam sticking sometimes. I don't know if that's just me or not, but definitely have some trouble sticking to adhesives. So I'm just making sure all of the circles have adhesive around them. Now when I put on top the other paper piece, you'll notice that the edges are way off. Luckily I'm covering up the middle section a little bit with my photos, so that doesn't matter. And then my pencil marks were smearing all over the place, but that's okay. So I'm using this Cat Scrappiness sequin mix called By the Sea, I think it's called. It's got some cool metallic colors, and then I'm using my Doris sequin mix here, that's the blue selection. I don't know what else to call it. So I'm picking out some dark navy, some medium tone blues, and I'm also putting in some iridescent sequins just to give it a little bit of fun. And now I'm going to glue on the top portions. So I start putting it on the foam and I realize, why don't I just put it on the paper, because that makes more sense. So I put it on the paper side of the shaker window, and then liquid adhesive again because you need to make sure that they're sealed in there because you don't want any of the sequins to drop out. So I'm just putting both of those on. I do like shaker windows. I usually do them on cards. I do have a tutorial using the same method on a card base instead of a scrapbook layout, but I thought it'd be really fun to use negatives of punches to make shaker windows on a layout instead. So to cover up my mishap of the not lined up pieces over here, I'm going to use this white trim from Michaels. It's just this little lacy trim. It's really fun and cute, so I'm just going to tape it onto the back. And then I will put some glue down some of the middle spots to make sure it stays down properly, because I don't want that to shimmy off, so you can tell. So now that's done. So now I'm going to work on the main section of my layout, which is my photos and title. So I know that my pictures will need foam underneath them to line them up with where the shaker window are. So I'm going to put some pieces of foam under there, and I'm going to glue those down using some ATG, and I forget to use liquid adhesive as well, but that's okay because I add some of that later. So like I said, my title is going to go down in the bottom right, and I want to add a little bit more blue on this layout, so I decided to pull out these tags and test out which one works better, and then I'm using that teal one from Recollections, I believe it's from, and tucking that under the doily. And then I have 3 Studio Calico wood veneer stars left. I think that's the only 3 I have. I might have some more, but that's okay. But I decided to use those on the layout because they're nice and fun. And then I pull out this pretty little studio there from their spring collection. I can't remember what the collection's called though. Just their die cut set though. Hopefully I'll have everything linked over on my blog in case you have questions about products or more details. So I'll have everything over there, and the link to my blog is always in the description, specifically for this layout, as well as just to my normal homepage. So I'm putting adhesive on the back of my photos and getting ready to put those down. And then I also need to glue down the doily first because that's... So I put down the first photo, and then the tag, So I'm just layering everything together. It's coming along nicely. And now we have to add some more details. So I have to put some foam behind the title to make that line up with where it'll be on top of the photo. And I didn't really think about where to put journaling on this layout, but there's plenty of some empty spots, so I think I'm going to put it near the title on the bottom right. I end up putting some word stickers down there too, so that works out nicely. And I think that'll be a great spot for my journaling afterwards. So I'm moving my wood veneer stars around, and then I also have this happy that I end up using because I think that's really cute, and it brings again that navy into the layout since it's already in the title portion. And now I'm just looking through my bits and bobs and seeing if I want to add anything else. But that pretty much finishes out this layout. I'm just going to glue everything down. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you look forward to making a shaker window layout yourself. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'd be happy to help you. And if you like this video, please subscribe for more. The series will continue throughout the year, and I have a few other series on my channel that I hope you'll check out. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!